was smiling when it happened. We had just parked outside her parents' house. My fiancé squeezed my hand, excited, talking about dinner like this was just another happy step forward. "This is the man who raised me," he said. Then the front door opened. I saw him. My smile froze. My chest tightened. My body knew before my mind could catch up. That face, that posture, that voice saying, "Welcome." Steady breath. The man who destroyed my childhood was standing in front of me. Older, calmer, respected. And everyone was calling him Dad. He stepped forward to hug me. I didn't move at first. Not because I was rude. 'Cause my legs forgot how. When he touched my shoulder, something broke open inside me. A memory slammed back so hard I almost lost my balance. Small room. Locked door. A voice telling me to stay quiet if I knew what was good for me. I forced myself to hug him back. 'Cause no one else knew. And if I reacted now, I'd be the problem. He pulled back and looked straight into my eyes. "What was your name again?" he asked. My heart pounded. Told him. He repeated it slowly like he was tasting it. Then he smiled. "Good to finally meet you." Finally. That word hit me hard. 'Cause I had met him before. Years ago. When I was a child with no protection. He didn't recognize me. Or worse, he did and didn't care. Dinner was already set. We sat down together. Plates passed. Glasses clinked. Laughter filled the room. I couldn't eat. He talked about morals. About discipline. About raising children the right way. I stared at my hands, willing them to stop shaking. Everyone admired him. Respected him. I wondered how many monsters hide behind respect. Then he started asking me questions. "Where did you grow up?" he asked casually. My throat tightened. I named the town. Not the street. He nodded. "What about your parents?" "My mother passed," I said. "I didn't know my father." He hummed softly. "That explains a lot." Steady breath. I didn't ask what he meant. Already knew. My fiancé noticed my silence. "You okay?" he whispered, squeezing my knee under the table. He nodded. Another lie. He loved me deeply. That much I knew. He saw me as strong, steady, safe. He didn't know the truth. That the man he trusted most had once held all the power over me. And that power was waking up again. He asked me to help him outside. We stood by the fence in the backyard. Night air. Crickets. Quiet. "You're a quiet woman," he said. "I learned early," I replied before I could stop myself. He turned to me sharply. Something passed over his face. Confusion. Suspicion. Then he smiled again. "Quiet women are usually hiding something." I realized then he was watching me now. That night I couldn't sleep. I lay beside the man I loved, staring at the ceiling. I thought about the girl I used to be. The one who stayed silent because silence kept her alive. But I wasn't that girl anymore. I whispered into the dark. I won't protect her with my silence again. I didn't know when. I didn't know how. But I knew this. He thought he had escaped the past. He was wrong. Because the past was sitting at his dinner table now. This is where the tension tightens and the past starts pushing back into the present. After that first night I noticed a change. He watched me more. Not openly. Not obviously. But the way his eyes followed me when he thought I wasn't looking. He asked more questions. Small ones. Harmless ones. How long I'd known his daughter. What kind of man I believed myself to be. Each question felt like a hand pressing gently. Testing where it hurt. He was checking something in his memory. I tried to act normal. But my body didn't listen. When he walked into a room, my shoulders tightened. When he stood too close, my breath shortened. He noticed. One afternoon he laughed softly and said, "You okay there, daughter?" I smiled and nodded. But his eyes didn't smile back. Predators notice fear, even years later. We were alone in the kitchen. He leaned against the counter, arms crossed. "You said you grew up in town," he said. "What part?" I hesitated just a second too long. "The east side," I said. He tilted his head. Near the old elementary school? Steady breath. Yes. He nodded slowly, like a man fitting the last piece into place. Something shifted in his face. He didn't say anything else. That was the worst part. But his behavior changed. Less warmth, more control. He corrected me in front of others, questioned my decisions, asserted himself where he didn't need to. This wasn't coincidence. He remembered now. And he was deciding what to do about it. One evening he pulled me aside again. "You're marrying into this family," he said quietly. "Reputation matters." I met his eyes. "I agree," I said. He leaned closer. "Some things are better left buried." I didn't answer. I didn't need to, because for the first time he looked unsure. He wasn't talking to a child anymore. "You don't like my dad," he said one night. It wasn't a question. "I'm trying," I replied. He studied me. "He's never made you comfortable, has he?" I opened my mouth, closed it again. "Not yet," I said. He nodded slowly, but worry stayed in her eyes. He was starting to see what I couldn't say. That night, I dreamed of the past again. Same place, same fear. But this time when he spoke, I answered. My voice shook, but it was loud. "No." I woke up breathing hard. Something had changed. Silence no longer felt safe. It felt like surrender. The next day he smiled at me again. "Too smooth. Come. We should talk," he said. "Just the two of us." My stomach dropped. He nodded. Because I knew what this was. Not a conversation. Test. And I had already decided how I would answer. This is where the silence starts to crack, and the truth begins to breathe. We sat across from each other in his study. Door closed. Quiet thick enough to feel. He leaned back in his chair like he owned the air between us. "You seem uncomfortable around me," he said. "That's not a good way to start a family." Kept my voice calm. "I've had a hard past." He smiled thinly. "Haven't we all?" He was testing how much I remembered. "You know," he continued, "people misremember things from childhood." Steady breath. I looked at him fully now. "Some things," I said slowly, "you don't forget." The room went still. For the first time his confidence slipped. Just for a second. Then it came back stronger, sharper. "You should be careful," he said. "False stories ruin lives." He wasn't denying anything. He stood and walked to the door, opening it. Conversation over. As I passed him, he spoke quietly. "You've built a good life," he said. "Don't tear it down." I understood him perfectly. This was the same warning. Different decade. But I wasn't small anymore. And I wasn't alone. That night, I sat beside him on the couch. He rested his head on my shoulder. "You seem shaken," he said. I almost told him then. Everything. But fear held me back. Not for me but for him. If I spoke, his world would break. "I just need time," I said. He nodded. But I felt the distance growing. He wouldn't wait forever. At the next family gathering, he lost control. Just slightly. He snapped at his mother. Corrected his brother harshly. People noticed. Whispers started. The perfect image had a fracture now. And fractures spread. Someone asked me if he was always like this. He asked it quietly late at night. "Did my father ever hurt you?" The words hung between us. My chest felt tight. My hands shook. "Yes," I said. That was all. He didn't ask for details. He didn't interrupt. He just listened. Belief was forming in his eyes. I told her about fear. About silence. About being a child who learned to disappear. I didn't give names. I didn't give scenes. I didn't need to. His hands trembled as he held mine. "I believe you," he whispered. Something inside me finally let go. But belief demanded action. He confronted him the next day. Not with anger. With questions. He denied everything. Called me confused. Called me unstable. But his voice shook. I stood beside him. I remember, I said calmly. The room felt different after that. Like a door had opened that couldn't be closed again. And the truth was about to step into the light. The truth stands. The power shifts. The survivor chooses his ending. He asked for a family meeting. Living room full. Chairs pulled close. Faces tight with confusion. He sat where he always did. Center of the room, hands folded, voice steady. I want to clear some things up, he said. There have been accusations. My heart beat slow and heavy. I stood before he could continue. I didn't ask for this meeting, I said. But I won't be silent in it. Every eye turned to me. And no one stopped me. My voice shook at first. That was okay. I was a child, I said. I didn't understand power. I just knew I was afraid. Steady breath. I didn't describe actions. I described fear. I described silence. I described growing up believing my voice didn't matter. He interrupted me. That's enough, he snapped. Kept going. Because this time people were listening. And he could feel it. He stood up fast. This is a lie, he said loudly. You're trying to destroy my family. But his voice cracked. Someone asked quietly. Then why does he know details no one shared? Another asked. Why are you shaking? He looked around the room, searching for control. It wasn't there anymore. The room had already decided. He stepped forward. I believe him, he said. Her voice didn't shake. I've watched him for years. I've watched my father too. Tears filled her eyes, but he didn't look away. This isn't about the past, he said. It's about who we protect now. Her mother cried softly. His father said nothing. The family split without a word. We postponed the wedding. Not because of doubt. Because of healing. Some family members stopped calling. Others reached out quietly, with apologies and stories of their own. I started therapy. I slept through the night for the first time in years. I spoke more. I breathed easier. And one morning I realized something surprising. I wasn't angry anymore. I was free. Months later I saw him once more. Cross a parking lot. Smaller. Older. Avoiding my eyes. He didn't approach me. He didn't have power anymore. I married the man I loved the following spring. No big speeches. No secrets. When I looked in the mirror that day, I didn't see a scared child. I saw a woman who survived. The man who destroyed my childhood became my father-in-law. He never expected me to speak. But when I did, he lost everything that silence once protected.